Hope you're having a cool Thursday, thankful Thursday, thinking Thursday, thoughtful Thursday, truthful Thursday. Shouts out to everybody. It's my last day of work. And after this, I got some days off. I got some rest. Hopefully, I could probably try to do something after this. I might have to take another nap. I'm still a little tired. But let's get off into it. And shouts out to everybody that's coming through and everybody's going to watch on the playback. Much love to my guy, that's Vonta over there in the UK. Don't work too hard. See you when you get off of work, baby. About to get off into this Thursday, y'all. Just playing one video, 28 minutes. I might cut it all. Like I might stop it and say so, but I'd rather for y'all to listen. I might fucking doze off. But I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try not to smoke this blunt. But anyway, let's get all into it. Happy Thursday, y'all.
The habitat of this group here, what do you think? What do you think you find these people here, Pete? I suspect you would find them in universities. You'd find the people who are very bright, people who are in the leading edge of professions. It's an intellectual thing. Well, I suggest that you find them in mental hospitals. You are vibrating right now, not metaphorically, literally. Your aorta, the largest artery in your body, is generating a pressure wave at this exact moment. Standing wave, running at approximately 7 cycles per second. That wave is traveling from your heart to your pelvis and back. It is interfering with your brain. It is interfering with your perception, and it has been doing this every second of your life. One man figured out exactly what that wave is doing to you, and more importantly, exactly how to use it to alter your experience of reality at the physics level, not your thoughts, not your emotions. Your actual interface with
at the physics level. Not your thoughts, not your emotions. It's at the physics level. Yes, we talk about thoughts and emotions all the time. Now, this is the physical level. You feel me? Like I said, you could motherfuckers speak all the affirmations, do all the meditation you want, but if your nervous system is still in survival mode or still in fear mode, the shit that you saying and doing ain't gonna work. So we need to cover all bases when it comes to the human body, mind, body, and spirit. That's why they call it mind, body, and spirit. It must be aligned. All right, it must be aligned. But we can go back to the beginning of this.
The habitat of this group here. What do you think? What do you think you find these people here, Pete? I suspect you would find them in universities. You'd find the people who are very bright, people who are in the leading edge of professions. It's an intellectual thing. Well, I suggest that you find them in mental hospitals. You are vibrating right now, not metaphorically, literally. Your aorta, the largest artery in your body, is generating a pressure wave at this exact moment. A standing wave, running at approximately 7 cycles per second. That wave is traveling from your heart to your pelvis and back. It is interfering with your brain. It is interfering with your perception, and it has been doing this every second of your life. One man figured out exactly what that wave is doing to you, and more importantly, exactly how to use it to alter your experience of reality at the physics level, not your thoughts, not your emotions. Your actual interface with the structure of space-time. His name was Itzhak Bentov. He published the map in 1977. 2 years later, he boarded a plane that never landed. Every day you don't know what he found. The signal inside you runs on someone else's program. By the end of this, you take the controls back. Here is what is happening to most of the people watching this. You have tried to change your reality, not casually, seriously. You have meditated. You have visualized. You have cleared trauma, shifted beliefs.
Exactly. You have done this shit. You done it. And you wonder why nothing ain't working, because the body must be aligned with your spirit, with your mind. Your body must be aligned. Like real shit. It's the only way for the shit to work. The only way for it to work. But for those who are just coming in, I'm gonna go back to the beginning one more time.
The habitat of this group here. What do you think? What do you think you find these people here, Pete? I suspect you would find them in universities. You'd find the people who are very bright, people who are in the leading edge of professions. It's an intellectual thing. Well, I suggest that you find them in mental hospitals. You are vibrating right now,
Let's
not
do this.
metaphorically, literally. Your aorta, the largest artery in your body, is generating a pressure wave at this exact moment, a standing wave, running at approximately 7 cycles per second. That wave is traveling from your heart to your pelvis and back. It is interfering with your brain. It is interfering with your perception, and it has been doing this every second of your life. One man figured out exactly what that wave is doing to you, and more importantly, exactly how to use it to alter your experience of reality at the physics level, not your thoughts, not your emotions. Your actual interface with the structure of space-time. His name was Itzhak Bentov. He published the map in 1977. 2 years later, he boarded a plane that never landed. Every day you don't know what he found. The signal inside you runs on someone else's program. By the end of this, you take the controls back. Here is what is happening to most of the people watching this. You have tried to change your reality, not casually, seriously. You have meditated, you have visualized. You have cleared trauma, shifted belief systems, done the inner work, spoken the affirmations, and at some point, maybe recently, maybe years ago, you ran into the same wall. Reality didn't move, the circumstances didn't change, the signal stayed flat. And you started asking a question that no spiritual teacher gave you a satisfying answer to. Why is this so hard? If consciousness creates reality, if thought shapes experience, then why does it feel like you are pushing against something? Like there is a force in the opposite direction that you cannot name? That question is not a spiritual crisis. That is a physics question, and Bentov had the answer. The reason the wall exists is not that you lack discipline, or faith, or the right technique. The reason is that you have been trying to change the output without touching the carrier wave. You have been editing the hologram from inside the hologram, and until you understand what the carrier wave is, and how to access it, the wall does not move. Bentov found the carrier wave. It is inside your body, and it has been there the entire time. You don't have a spiritual practice problem. You have a frequency problem, and those are not the same thing. What you call consciousness is not a thought, not an intention, not a belief. Consciousness is a waveform. It propagates. It interacts with other waveforms. It can be tuned, amplified, and interfered with the same way any electromagnetic signal can be tuned, amplified, and interfered with. You have been trying to change your experience of reality by changing the content of your mind, but turns out the mind is downstream. The carrier wave that determines what your consciousness can access that lives in the body, in the aorta, in the skull, in the standing wave oscillating through your chest right now. Change the carrier. Everything downstream changes with it. That is what Bentov proved. That carrier wave is already running inside you. It has been there since your first heartbeat. But here is where this gets urgent. What Bentov documented, and what his research confirmed beyond the margin of experimental error, is that the vast majority of people never access the Bentov lock, not because the mechanism is broken, not because they are spiritually unqualified, because something in the modern environment is running interference, deliberate interference, and once you see the interference pattern, you cannot unsee it. Bentov began as an engineer, not a mystic, not a philosopher, a biomedical engineer who held patents on cardiac catheter technology. A man who understood the human body as a precision instrument tolerances, fluid dynamics, pressure gradients, waveform propagation. And when he turned that engineering lens onto the question of consciousness, he did not reach for metaphysics. He built instruments. He measured. He ran the numbers. Here is what the numbers showed. The aorta is not just a blood vessel. It is a resonator. Every time your heart contracts and pushes blood into the aortic arch, it generates a pressure wave, a hydraulic wave that travels down the aorta. That wave reaches the iliac bifurcation, the point where the aorta forks into 2 vessels at the level of your pelvis, and reflects back toward the heart. The round trip takes approximately 0.14 seconds, which means the wave completes roughly 7 cycles per second, 7 hertz. Bentov called this the aortic standing wave. Now, the Earth's electromagnetic resonance cavity, the space between the surface of the planet and the lower edge of the ionosphere, has a fundamental resonant frequency of 7.83
Schumann
hertz.
resonance.
Named after physicist Winfried Otto Schumann, who calculated it in 1952. The Schumann resonance, the electromagnetic heartbeat of the planet. 6.8 to 7.5 hertz, 7.83 hertz, the same frequency band. Your body is already tuned to the planet. The aortic standing wave and the Schumann resonance are harmonically nested.
Salute
They are, in
branches.
Bentov's terminology, in the same resonance family. And when the body is properly aligned, when the mechanical...
Like I said, when the body is properly aligned. Shouts out the branches. Yeah, we're talking about going outside of consciousness and thought. You know, because I talk about consciousness and thought all the time, and there's a missing piece, and that's your fucking body, the nervous system, the motherfucking systems in your body that needs to be aligned with your mind and spirit, you know, for everything to work. You're talking about Isaac Bentov. he found the connection between on why like your meditation or your spiritual shit stopped working is because of your body. You know, you might have to go back to the beginning, but we are at like 4 minutes into the video. But yeah, you might have to go back to the beginning and going into the mind, body, and spirit being aligned for you to get shit done. Because this when some people like get that blockage, like like yes, you was doing everything and everything seemed cool, but like there was a point in life where shit just stopped or got stagnant, or you was just doing all this affirmation and meditation shit and nothing wasn't working at all. You like, what the fuck is I'm doing this shit for? And then now you're finding out your body needs to be in line, because if you doing visualization and affirmation, trying to speak positive into existence, but your body still feels tension, anxiety, and survival mode, that's why your shit not manifesting. You have to be fully in tune, mind, body, and spirit. Now let's get back to it. I try to explain like the brief beginning, but you know me, like I'm from the hood. I can only say it in the hoodest way possible and try to be a little intellectual. But I tried.
Conditions are met. These two oscillating systems lock together. They synchronize. They create a coherent field that Bentov called the Bentov lock. And when the Bentov lock activates, a third oscillating system joins the circuit, the brain, specifically a sequential, traveling electrical wave across the surface of the cortex. Starting at the base of the motor strip, climbing the somatosensory cortex, completing a loop across the crown of the skull, running at the same frequency as the aortic pulse. The same frequency as the Schumann resonance. 3 systems, 1 carrier wave, your body, your brain, and this planet all running in phase. That triple lock resonance is not a theory. It is not a spiritual claim. Bentov published the EEG data. He showed the cortical wave patterns. He submitted the work to researchers at the Menninger Foundation, one of the most respected psychiatric research institutions in the United States, and they validated the cortical signature. But here is where the map becomes dangerous, because once Bentov knew that the body was a tuned antenna, he asked the next question: if the body is the receiver, what is it receiving? And the answer he found was not in any mainstream physics journal. It was in the Emerald tablet, and it was encoded in the geometry of your skull. You know the scene, the white construct, the loading program, Morpheus holding 2 pills in his open palm. This is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Most people watch that scene and experienced it as metaphor, as entertainment. Bentov, had he lived to see it, would have experienced it as a schematic. Because here is what your neuroscience textbooks will confirm, in clinical, peer-reviewed language. Your brain does not receive raw reality. It receives signals. Electrical signals from your sensory organs. Those signals are processed through predictive models built from prior experience. The brain constructs a representation, a simulation of the external world. And that simulation is what you consciously experience as what's out there. Neuroscientists call this predictive coding. The brain is running a model, not a live feed. Research estimates you are operating on approximately 80% prediction and 20% incoming sensory data at any given moment. You are already inside a constructed experience. The only question is, who wrote the construction algorithm? Bentov said the algorithm runs on a carrier wave, and the carrier wave has a specific address inside your body. You already know what it's called. Before we go any further, I want you to do something. Right now, while you are watching this, place your right hand flat against your sternum, your chest bone, the center of your chest. Feel the surface of it. Now go deeper than the surface. Past the heartbeat, past the breathing. There is a subtler vibration underneath both of those. A hum, a resonance. Most people feel it as a warmth. Some feel it as a pressure. Bentov called this the standing wave node, the point in the chest where the aortic pressure wave and the returning reflected wave create maximum constructive interference. That sensation is the Bentov lock idling, running below threshold, waiting. Your left hemisphere is skeptical about this exercise right now. Good. Stay with it anyway. Keep your hand on your sternum. We are going to teach you to bring what is idling into full activation. Stay with the hum. We will return to it. In 1977, Bentov published Stalking the Wild Pendulum on the Mechanics of Consciousness. The book was not released through a fringe press. It was published by E.P. Dutton, a mainstream New York publisher. It contained EEG charts, anatomical diagrams, pressure wave calculations, and a theoretical framework for consciousness that was, by any measure, the most rigorously grounded model of its kind produced in the 20th century. The cortical data he presented was remarkable. When subjects entered the Bentov lock, the triple resonance state, their EEG patterns did not show the slow, synchronous delta waves you would expect from deep meditation or sleep. They showed a fast, sequential traveling wave, a wave that moved from the motor cortex through the somatosensory strip in a precise loop. A standing wave in the brain, mirroring the standing wave in the body. Bentov mapped the exact cortical path. He diagrammed the direction of propagation. He calculated the frequency. And then, he cross-referenced it with the reports from subjects in the state. What they reported was consistent, not vague, not poetic, consistent. Subjects reported perceiving information that was not available through their sensory channels. Structured information, geometrically organized. Often presented as light-based symbolic arrays, visual data with internal logic, across subjects who had never met, never compared notes, never shared a tradition. The symbolic content had structural overlap that Bentov calculated could not be attributed to cultural contamination. He submitted these findings to researchers at the Menninger Foundation. He corresponded with physicists. He was not operating in a vacuum. He was building a case. The case was not disputed on its merits. It was ignored. And there is a specific traceable reason why the scientific establishment chose silence over engagement. The reason is not methodological. The reason is that if Bentov's model is correct, if the Bentov lock genuinely enables access to information outside the sensory field, then the information control systems that every major institution in the modern world depends on become structurally compromised. You cannot maintain an information monopoly once every human body is a functioning receiver. Right now you're thinking, this is exactly what every consciousness researcher says, suppressed by the establishment, ignored by mainstream science. I've heard this pattern before, and that is the correct instinct. Apply it. Here is what separates Bentov from the field. He was not a consciousness researcher who picked up physics language. He was a biomedical engineer with validated patents who applied engineering methodology to the study of consciousness. His aortic resonance model was based on measurements, not intuition. His cortical wave data had institutional validation. His Menninger Foundation collaborations are on the record. The suppression was not driven by scientific skepticism. There is no published scientific refutation of Bentov's core claims. There is only silence, and silence, in the academic literature, has a specific meaning. Data was noted, strategically ignored.
Yep.
That is not pseudoscience. That is politics. Exactly what he had found. He was not modest about it, and he was not reckless about it. He wrote, and I am quoting from Stalking the Wild Pendulum directly, "The universe is a hologram. Consciousness is not produced by the brain. The brain is an instrument through which consciousness, which pervades all of space, expresses itself." That sentence was written in 1977. The holographic universe model Bohm's implicate order, Pre-Bram's holonomic brain theory would not reach mainstream physics discourse for another decade. Bentov was not speculating. He was translating what the resonance data was showing him into language that physics would eventually catch up to. And the deeper he mapped it, the more his research pointed toward a specific cosmological structure, a complete architecture of reality, one that has been encoded in sacred texts for millennia, and one that explains exactly what was at stake when his plane went down. Here is the second layer of the problem. Even if you accept that consciousness is a waveform, the next question is unavoidable. What is the signal? What is the Bentov lock actually tuning you into? What is on the other side of the receiver? This is where the consciousness space collapses into comfortable abstraction. The universe, the divine, the field. Generic containers for a specific mechanism that nobody wants to commit to with precision, because precision is falsifiable, and falsifiability is dangerous. Bentov committed. He built a complete cosmological model, not as spiritual philosophy, as topology, as architecture, with diagrams, with dimensional hierarchies, with specific frequencies assigned to specific registers of reality. His model says the reason you cannot access higher dimensional information in your current state is not spiritual. It is architectural. You are tuned to one channel. There are others, and the body already contains the tuning mechanism. You were just never told how to use it. What you call spiritual awakening is not an emotional event. It is not enlightenment as a feeling. It is not peace as a destination. It is a frequency migration. Your consciousness physically relocating to a higher carrier band. A band where the information density is orders of magnitude greater. A band where what you experience as intuition, as knowing, is simply the normal data throughput of the next register up. Bentov's model is precise on this point. The emotional experience of awakening is a side effect of the frequency shift. It It is not the mechanism. The mechanism is resonance. The body is the instrument. The Bentov lock is the ignition. In a cosmic book published posthumously from his notes, because he never had the chance to complete it, Bentov laid out what he called the model of the universe. Not a spiritual map, a topological one. The model begins with the torus, a self-contained, donut-shaped electromagnetic field that is simultaneously flowing inward and outward. The torus is not a metaphor Bentov invented. It is the fundamental geometric structure of every stable, self-sustaining energy system in known physics. The shape of a stable plasma vortex, the shape of a galaxy in cross-section, the shape of the electromagnetic field generated by your heart. Bentov proposed that consciousness is a phenomenon that occurs on the surface of a cosmic torus. What we experience as linear time, the feeling that events happen in sequence, that past is behind us and future is ahead, is the movement of consciousness along one specific path on the torus surface, following the grain of the toroidal flow. What mystics across every tradition describe as timelessness, the experience of the eternal present. The dissolution of sequential time is consciousness moving perpendicular to that path, cutting across the grain, accessing a dimension of the torus surface that linear time cannot reach. This is not poetry, this is geometry. And here is where your heart enters the model. The human heart generates a toroidal electromagnetic field. This is measurable. Squid magnetometry, superconducting quantum interference device, can detect and map the heart's field extending 3 to 4 feet from the body in all directions. The heart's electromagnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain's electromagnetic field. It is the dominant bioelectric structure in the human body, not the brain, the heart. In Bentov's model, the heart's toroidal field is the body's interface with the cosmic torus. It is the point of contact, the port of entry. When the Bentov lock activates, when the aortic standing wave, the cortical traveling wave, and the Schumann resonance synchronize the heart's toroidal field, aligns with the larger toroidal field of the planet's electromagnetic cavity. And in that alignment, the boundary between dimensional registers becomes crossable. Your heart is not a pump, it is a dimensional antenna. Bentov measured it, the ancients encoded it, and you have been carrying it your entire life without knowing what it was for. The heart as dimensional antenna, the aorta as frequency resonator, the cortex as the receiver that translates signal into experience. That architecture is complete, internally consistent, physically measurable at every point. But here's what Bentov connected that has never been publicly connected since his death. All three of these systems, the aortic standing wave, the Schumann resonance, the cortical standing wave, converge at one specific numerical value, and that value appears in the Emerald Tablet, in the geometry of the Great Pyramid, and, when you run it through gematria, in the name of the man who mapped it, the Emerald Tablet. Attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, the figure at the intersection of Egyptian mysticism, Greek philosophy, and the Hermetic tradition that underpins Western alchemy. The oldest known fragment of Hermetic text, translated from Arabic into Latin in the 12th century, from a source claimed to be far older. The central axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. This has been read as spiritual poetry for centuries. Bentov read it as a resonance equation. The macrocosmic field and the microcosmic body are not analogous. They are harmonics. They share a fundamental frequency. They are instances of the same waveform at different scales. And the ratio between the Schumann resonance 7.83 Hz and the aortic standing wave 6.8 to 7.5 Hz approximates. When you account for the full harmonic series, the golden ratio, phi, 1.618, the same ratio that structures the spiral of the cochlea in your ear, the double helix pitch of your DNA, the Fibonacci sequence in every living growth structure on this planet. The universe builds itself in one geometric language. Your body is an instance of that language. And the Hermetic tradition knew this, in precise mathematical detail, thousands of years before Bentov put it into equations. May 25th, 1979, American Airlines, Flight 191, Chicago O'Hare International Airport. A McDonnell Douglas DC-10, bound for Los Angeles International. 271 passengers, 13 crew members. At 3:02 in the afternoon, the aircraft began its takeoff roll on runway 32 right. At rotation, the moment the nose lifts, the engine, on the left wing, separated from the pylon. The entire engine, falling backward, shearing through the hydraulic lines and wing surface as it went. The plane reached an altitude of approximately 300 feet. The left wing, losing lift, began to drop. The aircraft rolled left, inverted, and came down in a field near Toohey Avenue in Des Plaines, Illinois. 93 seconds after brake release, 273 people died, including Itzhak Bentov, Transportation Safety Board investigation concluded mechanical failure, a cracked flange on the engine pylon aft bulkhead, caused by improper maintenance procedures that American Airlines had been performing across multiple aircraft using a forklift rather than the approved engine removal cradle, creating microfractures in the pylon structure that accumulated until failure. The NTSB report is thorough, internally consistent, technically detailed. What it does not address is the timing. Bentov had, in the months before May 1979, completed the core framework of what his colleagues described as his most significant work. A text that went beyond the physics of consciousness into what he called the practical architecture of reality manipulation, step by step, body-based, anatomically precise. The Vanishing Protocol, in complete form, not the fragments available in the published book, not the lecture recordings, but the fully assembled map. He had described this work to colleagues. He had discussed publication timelines. The manuscript was never found. His notes from the final period exist. They are held privately by individuals who declined to allow publication. The specific reason given has changed over the years. The notes themselves have not surfaced. The plane that killed Itzhak Bentov also killed the complete version of the one map that could teach ordinary people to access dimensional registers beyond consensus reality using nothing but their own bodies, without any external system, without any institutional mediation. Whether that is coincidence or coordination, the Vanishing Protocol has not been published, and you are going to have to sit with that. What didn't vanish is the mechanism. Bentov was meticulous about documentation across multiple formats. He published Stalking the Wild Pendulum. He gave lectures, some of which were recorded, and several of which have survived. He corresponded extensively, and some of that correspondence has been preserved. Across those sources, the core of the Vanishing Protocol is reconstructible. Not the complete final form, but the operative mechanism, the three stages that activate the Bentov lock and move consciousness from its default carrier band to the adjacent dimensional register is present. This is what he left, and this is what we are going to use. You have spent your entire life in a body that was never fully explained to you. Not the biology. The biology was explained in school, in textbooks, in 100 documentaries about how the heart pumps and the brain processes. What was never explained was the function behind the function, the reason the body has the specific architecture it has, why the aorta is the length it is, why the skull has the resonant cavity it has, why the cortex is organized in the sequential loop that it is. Bentov's answer: because the body was designed or evolved or emerged, depending on your framework, as a precision instrument for dimensional access. The pump, the resonator, the receiver, the field generator, all integrated, all optimized for the Bentov lock, all waiting for the conditions that allow the triple resonance to form. What are those conditions? Simple. Mechanical alignment, nervous system coherence, sustained attention on the carrier wave. That is the entire protocol. Everything else is interference. The interference is not primarily psychological. This is the part that practitioners of consciousness work consistently miss. The interference is mechanical. Modern posture, forward head position, compressed thoracic cavity, restricted diaphragm physically disrupts the aortic standing wave before it can form. You are not spiritually blocked. You are mechanically misaligned. Fix the mechanics. The frequency corrects itself. The Vanishing Protocol, as reconstructed from Bentov's published work and recorded lectures, operates in 3 stages. These are not steps you perform in sequence and complete. They are stages you inhabit. Each stage takes as long as it takes. There is no timeline. Never rush the resonance. The body knows the frequency. Your only job is to remove what is blocking it. Stage 1. The physical lock. Sit upright, not rigid. Aligned. There is a difference. Rigid is forced muscles contracted, spine pushed into an unnatural straightness that creates tension and blocks the aortic flow. Aligned is suspended, the spine finding its natural curvature. The skull balanced directly over the pelvis, the weight of the head carried by the column of the vertebrae without muscular bracing. The visualization Bentov used in his lectures: imagine your skull is a balloon. A single thread is attached to the crown of your head, pulling gently upward. The spine hangs from that thread like a chain. The pelvis is the anchor. You are not holding yourself up. You are suspended from above. The rest of the body releases downward from that suspension point. In this alignment, the aorta is uncompressed. The diaphragm has full excursion. The thoracic cavity is open. The conditions for standing wave formation are met. You will know this alignment is correct because you will feel a shift in the quality of the internal sensation. The hum behind the sternum, the one your hand was on, will clarify, become more distinct. This is the aortic standing wave beginning to form cleanly. This is stage 1 complete. Stage 2, frequency entrainment. Once the physical lock is established, you do not force anything. This is the stage where most practitioners fail. They achieve the physical alignment and immediately begin trying to do something with it, visualizing, intending, directing. Bentov was explicit. Stage 2 requires the cessation of directed mental activity, not the suppression of thought. Suppression creates tension and breaks the physical lock, the demotion of thought. Thought moves from foreground to background. What moves into foreground is the wave. Feel the heartbeat not as a sound, not as a rhythm you are monitoring, but as a wave that moves through the body, the pressure wave traveling from the chest to the pelvis and returning. Allow that wave to become the primary object of your attention. Ride it. Bentov's phrase, ride the pulse rather than watch it. You are not the observer of the wave, you are moving with it. When the brain begins producing the cortical traveling wave, when the Bentov lock moves from stage 1 into stage 2 activation, you will know it. A warmth or a pressure that begins at the base of the spine and ascends, a sequential sensation climbing the posterior midline of the body. This is the cortical standing wave, initiating. This is stage 2 complete. Do not reach for it. It arrives when the physical lock is clean and the mental interference is minimal. Stage 3, frequency migration. This is the stage for which Western psychology has no framework. Once the Bentov lock is fully active, physical alignment established, cortical wave propagating, the 3-system resonance running, you are operating at the intersection of the aortic standing wave, the cortical standing wave, and the Schumann resonance. At that intersection, what Bentov called dimensional registers become accessible, not through visualization, not through intention, through sustained resonance. The information does not require retrieval. You do not go looking for it. Bentov's description. The difference between searching for information with a flashlight in a dark room and turning on the lights. When the Bentov lock is active, the lights are on, the information is present. Your only function is to remain in the state long enough to receive it with sufficient clarity to bring it back into ordinary consciousness coherently. What subjects in Bentov's research reported receiving? Structured geometrical information presented as light-based arrays, symbolic content with internal logical consistency, answers to questions they had not consciously formulated. Contact with what Bentov described as intelligences operating in adjacent frequency registers, entities, or information systems, or aspects of a distributed consciousness field that present as distinct and communicative from the vantage point of the lock state. He declined to attach theological language to these contacts. He described them as features of the dimensional architecture, part of the topology, present and consistent and independent of the observer's belief system. That is the vanishing protocol. 3 stages, 1 carrier wave. Your body is the instrument, the Bentov lock as the mechanism. No external system required, no institutional mediation, no one to purchase access from. This is why it was buried. That protocol is simple, deceptively simple. And right now you are thinking, if it is this simple, why isn't everyone doing it? That is the correct question. And Bentov answered it directly. He wrote in private correspondence that his colleagues have quoted, "The suppression of useful knowledge is never primarily external, it is internal. Human beings are conditioned to distrust mechanisms that are free, inherent, and require no mediator. Complexity is the primary control system. People accept a complicated, expensive, institutionally gated path because complexity signals legitimacy. Simplicity signals fraud. You were given religion because religion requires clergy. You were given pharmaceuticals because pharmaceuticals require prescriptions. You were given hustle culture because hustle culture requires platforms and systems and people who profit from your output. The vanishing protocol requires your body, already built, already paid for, already tuned. That is why it needed to vanish, and that is why a plane that was not supposed to crash, crashed. Itzhak Bentov did not work alone, and he did not work in isolation from the ancient record. What he mapped in equations, the Hermetic tradition encoded in allegory, the Vedic system encoded in Sanskrit, the Kabbalistic tradition encoded in numerical structure. Every major mystical tradition in human history was pointing at the same architecture from a different angle. The toroidal field, the body as antenna, the heart as dimensional interface, the standing wave as the key. Bentov's contribution was the translation layer. He built the bridge between the ancient map and the modern instrument, between what the mystics encoded and what the physicist can measure. He gave it to us in language that could not be dismissed on methodological grounds. And then, he was on Flight 191. Stalking the Wild Pendulum is still in print. His lectures are archived, fragmentary, and findable. The Bentov lock is operational, inside you. Right now, running at 7.83 Hertz, the signal is live. There is one question left, and it is not answerable, not fully, not yet, but it is unavoidable now that you have seen the map. If your body has been a precision instrument for dimensional access your entire life, designed, optimized, and anatomically complete, then what does that make everything you have been told to do with it instead? What does it make the posture you were never taught to hold, the resonance you were never told to cultivate, the signal you were never told was live? Who benefits from a species of dimensional antennas that spend their lives never turning on the receiver? Sit with that. Let it work on you. That question is not rhetorical. It is a diagnostic. And the answer you arrive at will tell you exactly where you are in the process of unseeing the conditioning. If the Bentov lock is already active in you, if you felt the standing wave while your hand was on your sternum, type, "The signal is on," in the comments below, not as a comment, as a declaration.
And shouts out to everybody. Wanted to get this out the way. I might be back later. I hope the YouTube don't fuck with me. I know I go to work later. We got a afternoon game for the Tigers. This is my last day of work. We just got done doing like a 7-day fucking stretch. And now it's time for a break. You know, time for a break. I don't know how many days I'm off. I need to check my schedule again, I wanted to get this shit out the way, try to avoid the YouTube fuckery because it seems like everything goes good in the morning on my Detroit After Dark and in the middle of the night. But it seems like between the hours of 12 and 4, when everybody is on and popping and everybody watching YouTube and you know, like want to get some good information, they always fuck my shit up. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try again. Probably do I don't know. I might cover a little bit of news and maybe a jam session. See what happened in about an hour. You know, like I might start around shit. I might start around like maybe 2:30. Let's see what happens around 2. Or maybe 1:30. What time is it? Hold on. This was a 37-minute live. My other one was some change, like 40 minutes. Yeah, I probably around start like a little after 2 for my next one. Like we'll see what's popping. We'll see what's popping right now. Hope y'all enjoy y'all day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Much love to my guy, this Vont over there in the UK. This 3:36 over there in the UK. 4:36 in the Netherlands. 9:36 in Chicago. 7:36 in California. You know what I'm saying? 10:36 in Georgia. 10:36 in Jersey. Shout out to everybody, y'all respective time zone. This is Thankful Thursday, Thinking Thursday, Tranquility Thursday, but real shit. Thankful Thursday. I thank all y'all for coming through. You know, I really thank y'all because, like, you know, hashtag fuck YouTube and fuck the government and fuck all the world family that's killing us. But I'm thankful that y'all can come through and listen. You know, like this is some shit that's outside of my revolutionary rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Like I never really put these videos out there like that on shit that I listen to outside of the news and revolution. Like I'm into meditation, Gnosticism, esoteric, Hinduism, Buddhism, shamanism, you know, chaos theory, metaphysics, quantum mechanics. But did I say chaos theory? Shit, I listen to Carl Jung, Alan Watts, Earl Nightingale, Friedrich Nietzsche, Machiavelli, Miyamoto Musashi, the Warrior Code, Sun Tzu, Bruce Lee got his own shit. You know what I'm saying? Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic. I listen to a lot of great speakers, great lecturers, great teachers. I just grab my truth and I keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like the goal is to not get stuck in the box and start believing shit. You know what I'm saying? Just grab your truth, and if it applies to your life, you let it flow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. After I left Christianity in 2006, it felt fucking great. It was like a fucking weight was lifted off me. I didn't feel suffocated no more. And then I understood what real power was, and the power was within me the whole fucking time. And I had to understand, being a child, there was nothing I can do. I could have ran away. Probably. I tried. I could have, called CPS on my own mom. I could have saw the commercial and said, you know what, I'm about to call the Boys Town National Hotline and tell them my fucking story. I had these thoughts, but being in a Christian household and you like God gonna make a way out of no way, all I did was pray. So, but when it got to the age of 18, I was like, man, this is it. This is the straw that brought the camel's back. I left home at 17. Got with a chick that was supposed to be in the fucking church, supposed to be the woman of God, but fuck my whole fucking life up. And I was like, you know what, God, fuck you. Devil, fuck you. Angels, demons, all y'all catching these hands if y'all real. I'm about to do me. And that's what I've been doing ever since. I've been doing motherfucking me. And doing me work. Doing me work because like I saw the power. I can prove my power. like I gotta break it up. My crib was untouched by fire. Okay, my whole fucking apartment building, motherfucker, was in flames, and my shit was the only one not in flames. Okay. I can prove that to you. I can put that bitch on a motherfucking community post right now, or like after this live. I mean, but yeah, unbelievable shit. Now, back to this video. The guy that had all this information died in a plane accident. You feel me? I think it said died 2 days later or 2 weeks later, but like either way it goes, the man died because he found a way for us to connect within, and plus he wasn't no guru, he wasn't no master, he was a fucking biologist, and he was cracking the code, so it was like, at the end of the day, the evil motherfuckers that run this planet, they got all the shit that can heal this motherfucking world. They're not just going to put it out. They're not going to put it out at all because, like, the goal is to keep us sick, keep us divided, keep us confused, keep us dead, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you want to be down with the big club, you got to bend over. Pause. So, like I said I always said, I'm like, if the pinnacle of success in this country or on this fucking planet, remember this now to the end of days, if the pinnacle of success of this planet is to be a celebrity or a fucking politician, then I'd rather seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for the rest of my natural born fucking life. Remember that now to the end of days. Fuck being monetized. But hit the cash app. I'm about to get the AdSense soon. Hit my super chat too when I get it. Thank you. But at the end of the day, it's all about putting this message out there. It's all about putting this truth out there. We used to hear that shit through music. I'm the only one doing it through music now. Come on now. I mean, like, I'm just one of many. I'm just, like, I'm just in the zone right now. Sorry about that. I'm just one of many. I know there's some people out there that's doing what I'm doing, spitting what I'm spitting, but like not the way I spit it, but putting out the same message as I am. Shouts out to y'all. What I'm saying is, when the mind, body, and spirit is aligned, you are unstoppable. This is why they keep us distracted with music, with the media, with these fucking politics. And when you rise above all the crazy minor distractions, the bigger distraction is, bitch, you cannot get past this system without either being part of it or destroying that shit. There are bars, invisible bars, visible chains all around us in all areas, man. The rabbit hole or the fucking web there's just too many corporations, motherfucking what's that word? What's that fucking word? Subsidiaries of the corporations, with smaller corporations doing illegal shit and other companies. It's too much. This is why it has to burn down. There's too much. There's too many people involved, too many corporations, too many hedge funds, too many secret deals, too many, like the paper trail. And you follow the paper trail and you follow the money, like it leads back to the same motherfucking people. And but even what I just said is the distraction. Through a whole field of bullshit and going through the web, we think it's a whole fucking game when it's just a needle. Like a fucking needle, fuck a pyramid. Like the pyramid is just a motherfucking followers. These are the real leaders on a needle, a fucking needle type of scale. So replace the pyramid in your mind with a needle. But they want us to be brainwashed by the pyramid, brainwashed by the web, so we don't see who the real evil motherfuckers are. That's what the next video might be about. Talk about these other evil motherfuckers, because like we got names of fucking people to shit, Klaus Schwab, Bill, Dr. Fauci, George Soros, are some royal families that we have not even heard of. All right. So we're gonna cover that soon, hopefully. But when it comes to this video, and you in the spirituality, and why shit not working, you're using your visualization, you're using your meditation, using your shit is not working, because if your nerve system, if your body is in survival mode, still have tension, still have fear and doubt, your affirmations will not work. This is why I say mind, body, and spirit must be probably at a market and somebody do something stupid, probably to you, or probably bump into you and you get triggered, but your spirit be like, look, I'm trying to change who I am. I'm not going to flip out. I'm going to be positive. You be positive. But like, fuck that. That motherfucker bumped into you. You have every right to be like, excuse you, sir. You bumped into me. I'm not, not trying to make a big deal out of nothing, but like, can you say, excuse me, sir? Now, motherfucker is like even more mad. Motherfucker might not even apologize. Nigga bumped into you, didn't say nothing. You say something because you a motherfucking man and you're gonna defend your space. Now he's extra mad. So now you like, all right, let me be cool, let me be positive and all this, like let me try to ease the situation. Obviously, something is wrong with him, and obviously, I think he want to start something. Fuck that motherfucking positive thinking shit. Go with the flow and knock his motherfucking block off for being disrespectful. You would not be wrong for that. What you just went through was you having a battle with your motherfucking self on being real and right in the moment. Motherfucker bumped into you and got disrespectful, knock his fucking head off. Simple. If you get locked up, you get locked up. Do the motherfucking time. Motherfucker bumped into me. I said, hey, yo, can you say excuse me? Nope. Motherfucker got extra disrespectful, wanted to get violent. I knocked his fucking head off. You need to motherfucking be aligned. Now, I understand that's violent, and most motherfucking positive people don't want to be violent, but like, let me tell you something. The government is killing us through the food, through the water, through the air, through disease, and told your ass that you are a domestic terrorist if you don't agree with this government or agree with the data centers. So welcome to the fucking club. You a domestic terrorist just like me. At least I'm saying fuck the government, kill them all. Y'all not on that fuck the government, kill them all. But you will be a domestic terrorist if you don't fuck with that data center or fuck with this government. So you might as well say fuck the government, kill them all. And I'm surprised none of y'all motherfuckers ain't saying fuck the government, kill them all after Trump just motherfucking said he don't care about your fucking financial struggles. What is it gonna take? Because at the end of the day, like whether anybody know it or not, being mind, body, and spirit with destroying this fucking government sounds like righteous vengeance to me. They had a smile on their face when they came over here and killed us through the food, through the water, through the air, through the disease. They had a smile on their face when they divided this country and confused us all. They had a smile on their face as they laughed as we killed each other. They motherfucking forced the whole world to shut down, made us wear a mask, turned a whole motherfucking home into a prison cell, and had people out there with a mask on verbally and physically attacking us for not complying with this government. I'm going to kill every last government, every last alphabet boy, and every NPC and sheep that has complied. And I know y'all bitches are scared now. I know y'all hoes are scared because y'all got duped in the first go around. They're about to do another scamdemic. If y'all get duped again, y'all deserve to die. And we have every fucking right to fuck all y'all motherfuckers that still wearing a mask right now on. We still got every right to fuck y'all up for what y'all put us through. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that. We still have every right to whoop the shit out of you motherfuckers because y'all verbally attacked us. Y'all physically attacked us. Y'all threatened our jobs and livelihoods. Don't think we forgot about that. We lost a lot of friends and family because we didn't comply. And we lost a lot of friends and family just because we didn't vote for Joe Biden. This showed the mentality of the people, which lets me have a clear conscience of motherfuckers shooting a nigga in the face because I know where y'all stand. If you ain't down with the revolution, you're pussy. That was my first mind coming into YouTube. Anybody down with this shit, you pussy. You could be passive. You could be a pacifist all day. But the government and their lapdogs, they're going to kill you because they're feeding off of your morality. They know you're peaceful. They know you're not going to fight back. So your ass is either going to haul to a FEMA camp or take the bullet to the face. But y'all going to be like, well, at least I could go to Jesus. Fuck out of here. And for those that's on that meditation spiritual path, for you wonder why nothing not working, because you cannot be battling with your thoughts. You cannot be battling with your inner self. You must know who the fuck you are. Embrace your yin and yang. Embrace your inner darkness. Because remember, if you look at that yin and yang symbol, again, look at the yin and yang symbol. Inside of that white part, there's a black dot. And inside of the fucking black part, there's a white dot. We are the balance. In native proverbs, we have two wolves that live inside of us, a good wolf and a bad wolf. The boy told the elder, which wolf wins? And the elder told the boy, the one you feed the most. So you feed the positive wolf, you know, like positive shit, you feed the positive. Bad shit, you feed the bad. But like overall, it's a balance within. And getting over good and evil because it's a fucking human construct. It's a state of mind. Once you know who you are, you can never be afraid anymore of anything or anyone because you know what you're fully capable of. When mind, body, and spirit is aligned, like I said, my apartment building got caught on fucking fire. My crib, the only one standing. What I was doing for the past 2.5 years in that apartment, I've been doing spiritual work, altar work, Got my own sigils that I create myself with my own affirmation on it placed around my house. Incense, candles, speaking affirmations through the house, even my closet every day. My visualization, not seeing my apartment as my apartment. I saw it as a palace. Whenever I walked into my room, it was like a healing chamber where I healed. And whenever women came over, it was always peaceful. Yes, I had rules on my wall too. I had rules for the ladies on my wall. They came in and they saw that shit. They ain't say shit either because they knew what it was. Oh yeah, I bet you wonder what was the rules on the wall. Okay, no talking about your past. I don't want to hear about your baby daddy. Don't want to hear about your ex. I don't want to hear about any past trauma. If you can't do any of that, leave. That was on my wall, along with my pictures and my symbols and my sigils. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I had on my wall. And they listened. Yep. They listened. But the older ones knew. You know, like the cougars, you know, like they already knew. But, you know, they still looked at the rules anyway. But anyway, let me get up out of here. I just want to say, shouts out to everybody coming through. And shout out to everybody's going to watch on the playback. But, yeah, man, but like, that was wild. My quit burned down in 2017. Yep, shit happened 2017. But I say all that to say this, like if nobody be like, you know, like if somebody be like, you have no proof of your shit not being on fire, I'ma just have to make a community post again. Cause I, you know, like I posted once every blue moon. When I'm on the news, I show my real name and everything. I don't give a fuck, you know, because I'm not scared of YouTube or scared of anybody on this bitch. I will blow a motherfucking nigga head off. Pause. Because at the end of the day, I'm a fucking revolutionary. And it ain't no motherfucking thing calling up a motherfucker to hack your bitch ass if I need some shit to get done. So like, yo, I'm a revolutionary and I fight for the people that want to fight this evil government. You know what I'm saying? Don't be my enemy. Don't be on the same list as the government, because at the end of the day, the government want y'all, my subscribers, my followers, my fans, or just regular people in general that come across this page. They want us to go at each other. All these channels are still doing all these arguments, and trolling and debating. All that shit is like, it's irrelevant. It's done. It's done. Motherfuckers don't want to learn no truth. Nigga, grab your fucking freedom tool and just start blasting. And we will motherfucking raise whatever up from the ashes, you know, in your own communities. Because like, we don't need to replace this government at all. We just need to destroy it and everybody can go be free and be self-sufficient. Wake up, no bills. Wake up, no drama. Wake up, no chemtrails in the air. Wake up to clean water. Wake up to good food, no GMOs in it. Do y'all want that? And besides, I'm not even thinking about myself in this time frame. I'm thinking about our future, our children, and our children's children, and our children's children's children. You know what I'm saying? And even if the revolution don't start, y'all motherfuckers gotta keep my revolution alive. Because if shit about to get super high tech, no telling what the high tech revolutionary is gonna do. But we need to stop this shit before 2030. Like real shit. If the punchline is 2030, 2045, 2075, they already planned their fucking game. While we still over here talking about the past. This is why I'm trying to stay up on current events and watch what these evil motherfuckers are doing and put this shit out there for y'all. But also, this shit is my spiritual side. Sorry to go off to a HHN fuck the government podcast type of rant, but it is what it is. You know, like they can't stop the revolution because it's not only going on over here in the United States. We got some shit in the UK. We got some shit in Australia. We got some shit in Africa. You know, like it's like, you know, some shit in Europe, you know. So it's look, the world is on fire. But they're making your people look like, you know, it ain't really that big of a fire. Nah, man. Y'all taking away our freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Y'all starting wars, y'all blowing up kids, y'all killing kids, y'all kidnapping kids, y'all eating kids and raping them. Nigga, we need to kill all these evil motherfuckers. For real, for real. But shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to everybody. But I'm really thankful for each and every one of y'all for subscribing to the channel, for fucking with my content, rather it's the HHN Special Report, HHN Special Stories. I'm putting this on my new playlist. It's called Hurricane Shadow Work. So like you get to hear all the shit that I listen to outside of news and revolutionary shit. I got the Fuck the Haters Jam Session, Fuck the Government Podcast, Top 15 Countdown. Yes, I got a Top 15 Countdown. And, Matrix versus Reality, where I connect movies, games, TV shows, and a whole bunch of other shit with what's going on in the world. Cloak and Dagger Podcast, my co-host Ocean Dweller. Shouts out to Ocean, you already know what it is. And I got Celebrity Hood Reviews, TV show reviews. I think I got a motherfucking playlist called Fellas Don't You Hate It When. You know, that's kind of like some relationship shit. You know, like I need to get back to that. Like, fellas, don't you hate it when this bitches be doing this crazy ass shit? But like I said, like I only make those type of videos if I fucking feel it. Pause. But yeah, you know, like I cover a lot of content. I got a lot of content. And the music, I got professional and parody music. So holla. Check out all my playlists. And you can tell that I've been shadow banned to oblivion because look at all the videos that I motherfucking post compared to the subscribers that I have. And even then, but fuck it. Yeah, yep. Agenda 2030 now. They're gonna replace all cars in air travel with bullet trains. They're trying to do the fit team in the smart cities. They're motherfucking using the data centers to drain up all the water. So I'm like, and then Larry Fink, you know, I did the motherfucker. Like Larry Fink is scared of us shit. Like he motherfucker, like he's scared that like we gonna bomb that shit. Yes, the fuck we are. And so like now they're planning to do data centers underground to motherfucking hide. Well, nigga, y'all better do that shit. And I think I got some news of data centers making people sick. So if data centers is taking people water and making you sick, bitch, we blowing that shit the fuck up. You already killing us through the food, through the water, through the air, through the disease. You're dropping chemtrails on us, and you're building data centers. You're cutting down all the fucking trees to give us oxygen. This is like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like if anybody was just like really questioning God right now, it'll be the fucking time. I'd be like, yo, bro. You still believe in imaginary friends? You better quit now and save yourself. You better quit now and save yourself. Because that's what we're going to have to do. And like if anybody don't want to be down with the revolution, I tell you this. Because it's going to happen. The food is going to run out. Your bullets are going to run out. Yes, you can probably defend your home from invaders or looters or the police themselves. But when everything run out, you're going to need to go out there and find some help. Unless you're going to be a crazy ass maniac and they'll have to take your crazy ass out. If we don't have no community to motherfucking gather and try to create some shit now before 2030, we're all going to be fucked. We're all going to be fending from ourselves in our own respective cities, states, and towns. Wondering, damn, I wonder what such and such is up to. I hope he kicking ass. I wonder what such and such is up to. I hope she's shooting the motherfucker. We need to set up a revolutionary network now. So if the shit go down, we can stay connected. You feel me? Oh shit, grid just went down. Guess what? The revolutionary channel's still open. How's everything over there in Connecticut? How's everything going over there in the UK, Florida, Cali, Chicago, Jersey, Georgia, Russia. How's y'all doing? Yeah, we doing cool, man. Everybody over here, it's on the lights out, but we got our lights on. We still playing our PS4. But it ain't gonna be like that. It's gonna be like, all right, y'all good, cool. All right. Count the number of people you got, count y'all guns and ammunition, keep everything stocked. We're gonna keep each other updated every 2 hours. We need a recruiter to see who want to be in the revolution, and we're gonna need to see we need to kill some cops. Don't worry, I got a small plan. I got a fuck a small plan. I got a major big plan. But anyway, that's just me. Yep, they're gonna blaze. Oh yeah, and China with the robots, they calling it T-800. Motherfuckers doing black flips, judo moves, kung fu moves, walking with the police. They ready to deploy them. We already got the motherfuckers deployed with the robot dogs. Some shit over there in San Francisco. Some shit over there by the border. You know, we already got them. But China, those motherfuckers got them. Those motherfuckers spot them, got them. This motherfucker will hit your ass with a Bruce Lee cross kick and break your fucking whole chest open. But anyway, let me get up out of here. Shouts out to everybody. Hope everybody have a cool day, cool afternoon, cool evening, and cool night. This is Thankful Thursday, and I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all for being a part of this revolutionary journey. Much love to my goddess Vance over there in the UK. In the words of my baby, they can't stop the revolution. Fight, fight, fight. And she's my UK correspondent and the first lady of the Hurricane Night Trappist Church and the goddess of the hurricane, goddess of the USS Hurricane. You already know what it is. And shout out to everybody that came through. Much love, Monet. Shouts out to Branches. And shout out to everybody who's going to watch on the playback. I know like they barely send out my notifications and it's fucking crazy. But it is what it is. I'm just glad that didn't fuck up the live this time. But I'm gonna try to go live at 2. If the shit start fucking up, I'm sorry. Don't know what to tell you, but I'm just risking it because I know how it is. Like between the hours of 12 and 4, you know, like they always mess with my live. So I be trying to do shit early or in the middle of the night to try to combat it and to try to confirm my suspicions. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking about like between the hours of 12 and 4, sometimes my YouTube don't work. You feel me? I'm talking about I got high signal bars, but it drops down to 2 and 3, and it just motherfucking stay there for like 4 hours. And so, like, you know, so like if YouTube do come back on, it'll always put me in like a buffer state. If I watch a video, I gotta pause the video, let the red line go past, and watch the video some more. That's what I go through for 4 fucking hours. And my other phone, I think it's telling me it won't get this data back to the 28th. So I'm like, shit. Need to buy some internet. Fuck that. I buy internet when I can afford it. Right now, I gotta pay bills for this house and the rent and keep everything motherfucking straight and clean, man. Fuck an internet Wi-Fi for now. And if I do get it, shit, man. Like if I do get it, I'm gonna have my computer. So like, you know, I kind of want to wait until I get the computer, then get my internet service so I got everything set up perfectly. You know what I'm saying? You know, get a cool background. I might have to draw my background up myself. But like either way it go, like once I get the computer, then I get the internet. But I'm about to get the internet now. You know, because you know, it's a waste. It's gonna be a fucking waste. Yep. But shouts out to everybody coming through. Hope you have a cool day, cool afternoon, cool evening, cool night. I will try to be back around 2. You know, 2:30, like a little after 2. However the game go. Hope everybody have a cool day, cool afternoon, cool evening, and cool night. Catch you on the next one. Peace.